All right, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is, I'll name this segment later, GTG Spits That Grease. You guys already know what the slogan is as it pertains to that. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We've got quite a bit of SnortBucks to go through, and we got this we got this absolute piggy clown show, which has been the Nintendo Switch 2 debacle. Now, for those of you who know your lore to any degree, I'd say over the last 7 or 8 years, every time a new console comes out, DSP has some type of issue and or problem with a lot of it. Um, he had a problem with the Nintendo Switch, which he bricked. He had a problem with the PS5 launch, where I think he got it through Amazon, and he had ordered it he had used the credit card or a payment method. Let's say that he used the payment method that was going through problems allegedly through chargebacks, and his little sob story with that nonsense. A lot of stuff. So the video that will follow this will probably have a lot of stuff edited into it, just to tell some of these stories, or at least give you guys a bit of it. But he's always had some type of issue or problems when it comes to new consoles. I don't know what it is. It's kind of silly. It's kind of crazy. It's always something. And this right here is really no different. This is really no different. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about essentially what happened on the April 23rd and 24th, the evening of the 23rd, and then the Bottom Bitch podcast from the 24th, the Daily Wipe from the 23rd, and then the evening stream where he did all this and the Lego stuff. All right, so I have some notes, but let me, just from what little I've absorbed so far, what do I actually think happened? The reality is, he broke the scalper, sorry, Walmart has this thing about scalping, where against scalpers, I should say, where that, hey, if you can't get two consoles that can be taken to the same address. It's one per household. I think what happened is he tried to buy, or not even that he tried to buy, he bought two of them. He bought the standard bundle, and then the way it's being explained to me, about 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, whatever. Then later on, he ended up getting the second one, the Mario Kart bundle. And he was all hyped up and everything. And then he ends up, for 20 gifted subs and whatnot, or basically the equivalent of $100, he showed his order. Like an idiot. He showed the order and whatnot, so he sold himself out for about $100.
Firefighter over on Kick said they were going to do a 20 sub bomb if I got the Switch 2. I got it. Do you want me to show you? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm in the wrong email. I'm an idiot. I logged into the wrong email to show you. I'm stupid. Okay, hold on. Hold on. It's taking forever now. Clicking doesn't work. Oh my God. Okay. That's not. It's trying to do it in the wrong thing. Will you piece of shit? I can't show you because it's being stupid. It's not letting me log into my email on my desktop right now. I don't want to reset my password. Oh, fuck this. This is stupid. This is wrong. Forget it. It's not going to be correct. Show me the wrong email. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to show you because it's all linked to only my phones and stuff. It's not on here, and it's being a pain in my ass. Yes, send a sign-in request to my phone. That's what I wanted. Not doing it. It's being dumb. I know what it's doing. It's not sending it to my phone. It's sending it to another device in my house. Hold on. Hold on. This is so dumb. Give me a second. What a nightmare to log into a goddamn email. I can now show you. Okay. Here it is. All right, I can show you quickly. Ready? Well, just ignore me in the corner looking like an idiot. So here it is from Walmart.com, delivery, pre-order date, my address. There it is, the switch to, order total, blah, blah, blah. I got it. Okay. 100% confirmed. There you go, guys. Yeah, I'll self-dox like you guys don't know my address. It was doxed in 2014, the week that I moved here. You guys already know my address, all right? But I'm not going to show you my credit card information and everything, but that's it right here. That's the Walmart pre-order. All right, we're good. What is going on here? There we go. Okay, we're good to go. Now I'm curious, did anything ever change here? All right. Okay, guys. Well, we did it. So remember, Firefighter said they were going to do 20 subs, and that would get us to our goal. I've got nothing. So, guys, we're gonna finish the Piranha Plant other leaf now, and that's it for tonight. And then we're gonna do another stream to build the actual head of the Piranha Plant because we're out of time. Now, if we don't hit the goal tonight, this will be our final Lego build. I'm serious. This will be it. This will be the last one. So we had momentum. We had It's a Me Markula. We had It's a Me Ken gifting subs. But then I had to go do the pre-order, which I got, thankfully. But now we have stalled on the support, which is not good. So he lied. He was a liar all along, and now he's banned. So he go fuck himself. I got him. He's banned. Okay. Okay. I mean, what a shock, right? What a shock that he lied. So, guys, now is your chance as I build the final leaf here to hit the goal tonight.
he was still riding high, and then when the daily wipe came out, he basically said that he said his order got canceled. He said that his order got canceled. Oh snap! He said his order got canceled.
Well, everyone, this is the daily wrap for Wednesday, the 23rd, 2025. I actually already filmed a daily wrap, and it was a really positive, great one. And now I have to refilm this an hour later at 11:16 p.m. to tell you how messed up my situation is when people say things about how Phil over-exaggerates and Phil constantly is just talking out of his butt. So here's what happened today. We had two great streams. The first stream was Oblivion Remastered. Great fun. We hit the goals. Then the late stream was also a great stream of me building the first half of my Lego Piranha plant. We hit the goal again, which means that tomorrow we're doing DSP tries at Chipotle, and that's awesome. At 8:55 p.m., I attempted to get the Switch 2. I was going between multiple different websites, including Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and more. Couldn't get it from anywhere but Walmart. Added 2 to cart. Actually checked out both the Mario Kart bundle and this regular Switch 2. Regular Switch 2 was coming June 5th on release day. The other one is coming June 8th. Great. Checked out, paid, good to go. Finishing up my work, turned the stream off. Okay, I'm going to film the daily wrap. As I'm filming this daily wrap, I announce, hey, I got 2 Switch 2s. What a great day. Everything's amazing. And then I check my email where it proceeds to tell me that both orders have been canceled. Does it say that it's because of an error on Walmart? No, it says I canceled the orders. So I'm currently talking with Walmart right now about someone socially engineered my account on Walmart.com, and through basically very basic information, which it must have been because it certainly wasn't anything crazy, they got access and canceled my orders. So now I don't have a Switch 2. I was going to get 2. I was going to keep 1, maybe give 1 to my wife, maybe have a backup in case the Switch 2 failed at launch, because that's what happened with the Switch 1. Maybe eventually do a giveaway. And now I have nothing. So I want you guys to understand again that when people say that, oh, DSP exaggerates or whatever, no, they actually do this stuff to me. This is why I refuse to give any personal details about anything in my life. This is why I will not film anywhere in my house. I will not do IRL vlogs. Anything that I do that's information, they use to hurt me. So I worked my butt off tonight getting 2 Switch 2s, and now I have nothing because these people screwed me. I don't even know how they got access to the account. I'm talking to the rep right now, which is the noise that you're hearing, bling, bling, bling. So here's the deal. Tomorrow, Level 1 podcast and the premiere of Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and we're doing DSP tries at Chipotle on the first stream. The second stream will be Minecraft Chill, but I'm not getting a Switch 2. I have no means to do so. They're all sold out everywhere. I had them, and someone socially engineered my account and canceled my orders. If anyone has any means to get one, I'd appreciate it. If anyone's getting an extra one that I could buy off of you for the real price, I'd appreciate it. But it looks like at this point, I can't cover the Switch 2 because these people are scumbags who break the law, impersonate me, and do awful things to me and my family. And this is just another example of that. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
What I think, honestly, was I think Walmart canceled the first order, or canceled the second order. I think DSP canceled the first one. I think what DSP was going for was he got the Mario Kart bundle, which is what he wanted. So he just went ahead and canceled the first order. And he got a notification later that the second one got canceled by Walmart. That's honestly what I think. I think that this whole sob story bullshit about they're coming at me again, the tractors are coming out of the walls and out of the ceiling and out of the fucking floor and all this bullshit. I think what it was is one of his dents told him, hey Phil, you ain't sat there and showed your order information, you gotta be careful about that. DSP ends up losing both of the switches and what the Switch 2s, and then he just came up with this supposed elaborate story, which I'm going to tackle right after this video. And I honestly think that's all it was. I honestly think it's just a bullshit elaborate story to yet again drum up more hatred against your detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, and probably to try to get a free Switch out of people. Now, from a little bit of the Bottom Bitch podcast from the 24th, he don't look that mad to me, honestly. He looks like he has an ace in the hole. He looks like he's in a comfortable spot right now. So for all we know, while he was trying to get the Switches on the 23rd, on the evening of the 23rd, Kat may have been in the other room or downstairs or wherever it is that she congregates, and she more than likely was able to snatch a Switch up for them. Or whatever. Because remember, he's just trying to get them on pre-orders. Once he has what he wants, he can just cancel those orders later. I honestly think that's what this is. I think that every time, like I said, every time a console comes out, just about, he has some type of crazy-ass story that detractors tried to fuck him over and prevented him to do it. The PS5 was a perfect example, if you guys remember that. I think that's all this is. I honestly think this is just a giant scam or a giant con. But I will say, the way that he's trying to demonize his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics make me wonder if there's something else going on that he's revving up for, and that's what all this is. He's trying to lay down the groundwork for something else. I don't know what it is exactly, though, but it's very clear that he's revving up for something. He's setting up, he's trying to set up the Gouty building blocks for some type of nonsense. Anywho, so that's what my thoughts on that as it pertains to it. As it pertains to the order number that he showed, and a few people have already gone out there and took a look at it. The order was already canceled. Now, yes, there were some people that were joking about, hey, we should cancel this, but more than likely it was canceled before it even happened. And I think DSP is the one who did it. And it's just a convenient excuse for DSP, to be honest with you. It's a hella convenient excuse. He tried to play the system. He got away with it initially with both the pre-orders, and then he got caught later. End of story. And it doesn't even matter because one of these dents are going to come through for him no matter what. But I think what happened was he broke the policy for the one console or Switch per household, and he got himself screwed. End of story. He thought he could play the game. He thought he could get over because it's just Walmart, and that's where those stationary and poor people go and shop anyway. So what the fuck? I'm also hearing rumors that the reason why he chose Walmart, not only because that's what was made available to him, but also they were guaranteeing same-day delivery when the console drops. I mean, that's alleged, but who could say? Let's see. This whole hacking, social engineering thing don't make no damn sense. Okay, so these people canceled your order, right? For both of your Switch, for your first Switch. Then they jump into your Walmart account and they cancel the second Switch. And then they start adding stuff to your cart so they can try to ship it all to your house and basically spend all his money. But he's not saying, so he's basically admitting that these people allegedly were in his account, right? They changed the password, they're in his account. And yet he doesn't say anything about his credit card information, i.e. his payment information. He's not saying, hey, I got to change my credit card, I got to close those credit card accounts down, or hey, I got to get a new credit card number assigned to me, or banking or a debit card or whatever those payment methods are. He's not saying anything about those things. On top of that, he's admitting that he used two different forms of payment for both of the orders, for both of the Nintendo Switches that he bought, the original and then the Mario Kart bundle. If these people were really in his Walmart account, that means his credit card information or his payment information is exposed. Why isn't he saying anything about that? Why isn't he changing that? Why isn't he going to the cops? Why isn't he going to the feds? You know what I'm saying? He's running around here saying social engineering, identity theft, identity fraud, but he isn't talking about reporting nobody, which goes back to the situation with Steven and Darksydephil when they confronted him about that. That goes back to the situation with side scrollers when Adam and Craig confronted him on that. Huh? So I have problems and issues with that. Hopefully I'll be able to address it. Let's see here. He also has no proof of any of this. Outside of the meme that was going on that, hey, a detractor is going to cancel this order, he has no proof that anyone actually did it. He has no proof whatsoever. He has no evidence. And truth be told, he doesn't have any evidence that the first order or the second order was canceled, to be honest with you. He's got nothing. All he has is his Snorts, and they don't mean nothing. But we know for sure the first one got canceled. But I don't think he got hacked. That just doesn't sound right to me. He says that the password for his Walmart account got changed. Okay, you didn't get a notification for that? And then I'm hearing that the night that he tried to pre-order the Switch 2s, he couldn't even get into his email account from his PC. He was already logged in on his phone. He tried to log into his PC. This is when he was supposed to verify it to whoever it was in his chat to get that $100 or 20 gifted subs or whatever. Couldn't get into it. He didn't want to show his phone. Couldn't get into it through the desktop. Had the leak said that he said that Microsoft sent him a 2-factor authentication, but he wasn't getting the signal to his phone or the email to his phone. He had to leave his room, go to another device, whether another phone or his tablet, the one he bought for Smart Guys, which is now a glorified paperweight outside of the porn that he's probably watching on it. He had sat there and had to leave his room to go ahead and verify it on that device. Came back, then had to leave again, then came back and was able to get into the email account from his desktop, which means that he can't even remember, or at least at that time, he couldn't remember even the credentials to log in. So that in itself right there sounds like a bunch of problems. But on top of that, that issue he had that night, getting into that email account, sounds like the exact same issues he's trying to put on detractors, trolls, haters, and critics as it pertains to that Walmart account. That's what it sounds like to me. And keep in mind, DSP has no problem with talking out of both sides of his snout, and he doesn't mind interchanging situations to make his way to have his way. So that's another thing that sounds pretty weird. Then he's saying that he had to speak to, he spoke to customer service, and they gave his credentials out to someone else, and that's what caused them to cancel his order, as well as to get access to his Walmart account. Yet again, he has no proof of this, right? But then before that, he says that his bank actually flagged his pre-order purchases, and he had to get on the phone with the bank at 10, 11 o'clock at night, whatever it was, his time, and he was on there with them for about an hour or so trying to get things worked out. And then after he allegedly worked it out with the bank, now all of a sudden he's getting notifications, he's coming to the realization that there's something wrong with the Walmart account, or his first order gets canceled. So his timeline's kind of jammed up. Let's see, what's the next thing? Okay, so he says after talking to the authorities, or not the authorities, talking to Walmart, he finally gets back into his account, which the only reason why he found out that his Walmart account was compromised is because the password was changed. He eventually gets access to the account again. He kicks the person out who was apparently still in session, trying to purchase things and have it sent to his home. He was able to kick them out, and he was able to rechange the password. But yet again, he doesn't say anything about the payment methods. He doesn't say that, hey, I think these things were compromised. Now I have to go through the trouble of going through, talking to my credit card company, or calling the bank and working that out with them. That's weird because remember, he just said he was on the phone with the bank when they flagged the initial pre-order for the Switch in the first place. So it's funny how we're on the phone talking to the bank, trying to let them know that, yeah, this is an authorized purchase. But then when these people are floating around in his Walmart account that was supposedly hacked, he's not bringing up that, hey, I don't know if these people have access or have seen what my payment methods are, and did they jot the numbers down for that? We have the last 4 digits for the credit card he used for the first account, for the first Switch. If he has a second payment method that's linked to that account, they have that information too. If they were in there, if they were really into his, if they really hacked his account and they were in there, but he's not speaking on that. So yet again, more problems. More problems. Let's see, what else? Okay, him getting in at Walmart, like I said, I guess they had this thing where they were guaranteeing same-day delivery when the Switch drops. Despite the fact that Darksydephil has a pretty robust, if you will, history of shitting on Walmart. Like absolutely shitting all over them and shit. It's for the poor. They have terrible business practices, yada yada yada. They're unethical, they're immoral, so on and so forth. But yet he didn't mind putting them on the list for places to get his console. Truth be told, from a history standpoint, he's always used Walmart despite the fact of them shitting on, but despite the fact he shits on them. So that's a nice little contradiction that he's good for. Let's see, last 4 digits of his credit card has been exposed, but yet again, he doesn't seem to have a problem with that. But if his account was really hacked, then he should be worried, but he's not saying anything. This whole debacle was over $100, and he won't take responsibility for it. So you literally put yourself in this situation. Like DSP, you put yourself in this spot for $100 fucking bucks. You wanted the gloat, you know what I'm saying? You wanted your clout. Hey, some of these guys can't get 1 console. I was able to get 2. And someone offered you a measly $100. Sorry, it's not a measly $100. Sorry about that. They offered you 20 subs or the equivalent of $100, and you ain't sat there and just showed your entire ass. Now you're saying, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my fault. These people are the ones who are breaking the law. These are the ones who are committing the crime. You should put the blame on them. Don't blame me. Blame them. But then he says, even if it was his fault, which it was, they still committed a crime. They should still be held responsible. And then now he's going into this spiel where he's like, oh, what I should have done was I should have just done it all off stream. I should have gone ahead and put on a couple bumpers and whatever, put on a couple of slides, and I would have taken 30 minutes to go ahead and get this order put in. No, ass clown, what you should have did is just started the stream late or don't stream at all. That's what you should have did. Instead of you sitting there saying, oh, I'm gonna start my stream and then I'm gonna waste your guys' time for about 45 minutes. Yeah, you're wasting people's time doing that shit. That's really what it was. That's really what it is. And he doesn't mind doing it. That's why that was the first idea that was gonna come to mind. Then he says the shit's good content, but it's not good content. You know what I'm saying? It's just him sitting there saying, I'm in line at Walmart, Amazon's not working, Target's this, and this. It's not good content. And it'd be different. And here's the thing that really messes with me. Why didn't you screen share you initially on trying to add these things to your cart? No information should have been shown outside of what the initial website has, you trying to get this item and add it to your cart. Once it's in your cart, once you start to get into checkout, I get it, hide the screen. But leading up to that though, so they can actually see what's going on and have a bit better visuals, why didn't you do that? Anyway, semantics. So he doesn't want to take any blame for it. He doesn't want to take any responsibility for it. It's not his fault that his information got leaked. It's other people's fault for taking the leaked information that he put out freely and willingly and allegedly use it against them. Despite the fact that, as far as I know, at the time of recording this, no one's come out to take claim for it, and DSP himself has not shown not a lick of evidence to prove anything about anything. Womp womp. Okay, so now he doesn't think he'll be able to get a Nintendo Switch. He says that he doesn't approve of scalpers. He doesn't want to use scalpers. And if he can, he will, if someone has a Switch or has an extra Switch and they're willing to sell it to him at market value or at market price, he's willing to buy it. But he's really not. He's really basically saying, hey, you guys, if someone gets an extra one, just please send it to me. Which is no different than any other time, right? The first Nintendo Switch, when it quote unquote bricked, someone had to send him one. They did. The PS5, he was bitching and complaining and shit that he fucked up his own pre-order, which he did, and he didn't think he was going to get one on launch date. And if I remember correctly, holy shit, I got to dig deep for this. When the debacle with the Amazon PS5 thing happened, I'm pretty confident of this, but don't hold me to this. He got on the phone with an Amazon representative and essentially threatened them, saying that, hey, I'm a content creator, I'm a streamer, and if I don't get this Nintendo Switch, I'm going to have to go on stream and tell people that you guys basically fucked me up, that you guys fucked me over. You really wouldn't want me to do that, would you? And whatnot. And he also says something along the lines where, okay, I get it that I can't get the pre-order in. Can you just, I have the money right now. Can you just charge me for a PS5 and just push it through as if it was a regular order and just send it to me anyway? Can you just basically what do you call it, jailbreak it or just forcefully press the order through. And they told him no. They said if this item wasn't on pre-order, then they might have been able to do so. But because it's on pre-order and it's a limited amount, we can't do that. I'm sorry, it's against the policy. And I think that's when he initially threatens them and says, hey, I got to go on stream then tomorrow and tell these people who are my fans and viewers that if you guys don't, that I'm not gonna be able to get this PS5, which means I'm gonna lose money, which means that my audience is gonna end up going somewhere else to get the information, to see the unboxing, to watch the first couple of gameplays or whatever, and I'm gonna be screwed. And I've been a long time, Amazon, customer, you know what I'm saying, or Amazon Prime customer, I think is what he said. I've been a long time Amazon Prime customer. So you're doing me wrong. And I think I know for sure he ended up getting like some Amazon credits. I can't remember what it was, 10, 20 bucks, whatever. It wasn't even their fault. It was his fault because he had an invalid method of payment up there. And he had already had it on pre-order for a better part of 2 months. So in 2 months, your dumbass wasn't smart enough to make sure that all your ducks were in a row. And I think it was literally like the day before it was supposed to launch or whatever, maybe a couple days before this whole nonsense came about. But instead, he blamed it on whatever chargebacks or whatever he was dealing with at the time. It is what it is. But there's always something with it. There's always something. As it pertains to the Switch 2, the unboxing or whatever, that's just not going to pull views. Not for him anyway. No one cares, to be honest with you. And truth be told, he understands that. He knows that. He just wants his dents that are going to be there on stream to throw him a bunch of money, and that's it. And given that the recent playthroughs are starting to slow down if they haven't been wage quitted yet, he's trying to invest about $1,000, a little more, a little less, to get these two consoles, and he's probably not even going to get a return on investment anytime soon, unless they keep hitting the goals. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, there's no real compensation, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? I think he's wasting his time. And more importantly, he's not going to get it, the morning of, and I think the console drops on June 6th, or June 5th, sorry. June 5th or 6th is when the Nintendo Switch launches. He's not going to have it the morning of. He may not even have it till late afternoon. By then, people will already have their unboxing out and their reviews. He's falling into a slippery slope. Which, yet again, his whole complaint seems incredibly thrown together. It seems panicked in some ways. Like, it's not well thought out. Not to say that any of DSP's lies are thought out, but it doesn't stick like his normal victim segments do. And yet again, he doesn't seem that upset about this whole thing anyway. He's trying to paint a narrative for something else. At least that's what I think. I think he's trying to paint the narrative for something else. I honestly don't think he's as mad about this as he's trying to convey. So who knows what's really going on and what the real problem is, but it's not this. He's not sweating this. To be honest with you, the way he went up there and gloated, it seems like he's got everything on lock. He's going to be good in either which way. And it's convenient that he don't want to talk about it no more, and he's not going to say anything until the day of the launch. So now, and then he puts himself in a bit of a conundrum there, if you think about it. Because when the Nintendo Switch 2 launches, if he has the console the day that it launches, right, then he lied. He didn't get hacked. He didn't get this, that, and the third, whatever. He's full of shit. He screwed himself over, and someone else came through, or through other means, he was able to obtain the console. If he purposely waits a couple of days, right? If he waits a couple of days after launch and then says, hey guys, I was finally able to get one, this, that, and the third, then he can keep his victim narrative going. So now we got a problem. He's either gonna choose his ego or he's gonna choose money. He's got to do one of the two because he can't do both. So if he goes ahead, if he has the console on release date, then he's chosen money. If he goes ahead and waits a few days so he can keep the victim role going, then he's choosing his ego. He's got to pick and choose. And DSP is in a pretty bad spot because, he's always wanting to keep up with the Joneses. He wants to have what everybody else has. He wants to be up there with everybody else. Problem is that you're painting yourself out in this victim role and shit. And in a month a little over a month, I should say, he may memory hole all of it. He may not even remember what the original narrative is. So I'm not too concerned about that. And that, like I said, I haven't heard anybody in particular come out and take credit for it. So it is what it is. I think it's honestly, he fucked around and found out. He tried to get over on Walmart's policy. He got caught. And then he saw somebody in the Gouty Gestapo saw all the jokes that was being made on detractor Twitter and on the forums, and they decided to run with that as the narrative. Worst case scenario, well, best case scenario for him. Let's reword that. Sorry. Best case scenario for him is Kat was in another room trying to order a Switch for them. She actually got it. That's why he's not stressing. Worst case scenario, one of the dents come through with it. So either way, he's going to get a free console, or Kat has him covered, or both, because it's weird. That's another weird thing too, actually, because he said that he wanted, when asked, why do you need two Nintendo Switches, man? Like, what's the point of that, given the high demand and, you know, the anti-scalping situation going on right now, or whatever. He's like, well, I had this whole situation with the first Nintendo Switch. So having a second one will be just valuable just in case it breaks. Or maybe my wife wants it. Or maybe I can do a giveaway. Stop. First thing is it possible that the first one might break? Sure, but then just play the victim role like you did with the last Switch and get a free one off that shit. Second, what do you mean Kat may want it or she may not? Like, what does that mean? Who's going to turn down a free console? Especially since she actually plays games. So why wouldn't that be just a mandatory? That's the first thing you should have said. The console's for her. If my console breaks, I can use hers until we get a replacement for mine. That's not what he said. That's what he should have said, but that's not what he said. Third, maybe I can do a giveaway or something. Wait a second, didn't we just come off of, I can't do a fundraiser because, or I can't do a raffle, or I can't do, giveaways like other content creators, because if I do that, everybody's going to be at a disadvantage. There's only going to be one winner. And everybody else is going to feel slighted in some way, even though that doesn't make sense. When you join a raffle or a sweepstakes or a fundraiser that leads to a raffle, you understand that only one person's going to win. That's the fun part, the chance of winning. As a degenerate gambler, you would think DSP of all people would understand that. But semantics, he's like, so I'm not going to do that. I don't feel that's right. I can make content that everybody can benefit from, and there are no losers. So everybody gets something out of it. Really what he's saying is, I want to make sure that I'm winning first, and then all of you guys get some trickle-down economics so no one can really bitch and complain. If one person wins and they gloat, DSP feels like everybody else will become more and more disheartened to contribute to those fundraisers or whatever, because they're going to be like, well, I never win. Why am I going to keep doing this? And that's because of how fucking short-sighted he is. With that being said, but you're now saying you might have been willing to do a giveaway for a Nintendo Switch or a Switch 2? Make that make sense. So I think the story's bullshit. I think the story's absolute bullshit. I think DSP is just trying to be the snake. I was gonna say he was trying to be opportunistic about the situation. But truth be told, he's just trying to be the snake. King Snake. He's just trying to take advantage of a situation because he looks stupid. He played the game and he lost. And he tried to cheat the game, I should say. And he lost. And he's mad about it. That's literally it. It's really as point and shoot as that, to be honest. And that's it. another loss. And to prove it, if he was to prove that this was all true, he needs a police report, or he needs to report this to the FBI that his identity has been compromised. He needs to say something about the two payment methods on his Walmart account. Those are two things. Those are, in particular, two things that he should have said already, but he won't, because he's never reported anybody for identity theft before. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. He just reported it to the bank, and that was it. And he's definitely not going to say anything about those credit cards and whatnot, because theoretically, DSP shouldn't have credit cards. Not after coming off of a bankruptcy like this. He shouldn't be doing that, unless both of those credit cards belong to Kat, and that's probably not it. So he probably has, more than likely, he still has bank accounts. So he's probably got a high-ass yield credit card with whatever bank he's using, and then he probably has another high-ass interest credit card with PayPal. to be honest. If he was smart, he probably would have used one of Kat's credit cards. And if Kat has a friend who's, you know, not gaming or wouldn't mind, you know, one of the orders being delivered to their home, they should have just done that. But DSP is not that smart, or he's only as smart as, you know, beyond the sight of his snout. So he thought, oh, 2 different payment methods, same household, no one will be the wiser, or they won't care because they're just greedy. They're a greedy, immoral company anyway. And that's that. I honestly think that's what it is. I think this is absolute fucking bullshit. To be honest, I don't think there's really any merit to anything. He just got caught lacking. End of story. And the story and the cover story about the tractors doing this, that, and the third, it's nothing. But I do think he's setting up for something else. I don't know what it is yet though, but he's certainly setting up for something else. And that's pretty much it. That's as far as I see it. The video that will follow this, which I'm actually about to jump into right now, we will be going over, let's see here. Like I said, we'll be going over the evening stream where he tried to do the pre-orders. I'm gonna try to cut most of it down though, and just try to keep the parts that I think is important. We're gonna get that. We're gonna go over the daily wipe from April 23rd, where he announces all this shit. And then we're gonna go over the Bottom Bitch podcast from the 24th. And that's about where I'm gonna go with it. I'll do a follow-up later if he decides to speak on it anymore moving forward. But other than that, I think that's what I'll condense into this next video. And that's that. Especially given what my current time period is and where I'm at in the timeline. I'm just working with what I have. I'm just working with what I have. So in any case, what do you guys think? How do you guys feel? Like I said, the actual video going over this itself should be out tomorrow. You know, you're seeing it on whatever day this goes out. The next day that should come out, and we'll go over it. We'll have a good laugh, and we'll pick that shit apart as we usually do. And like I said, if you guys have any thoughts or opinions or whatever, let me know. Feel free or whatnot. Excuse me. And that's basically it, guys. That's honestly what I think about the situation. I think he fucked around and he found out. I think it's as easy as that, to be honest with you. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been, I'll name the segment later, GTG Spits That Grease. Take care of yourselves, people. And like I said, if everything works out, I'll see y'all tomorrow, basically. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, people. Later.